Hey everybody, Jackie and Carly here. We're going to talk with you a little bit today about the iColor 250 printer. We are so excited. It's one of my favorite printers that we have right now. Just to kind of give you an idea of who I am, you're probably used to seeing Carly a lot, but Carly and I work together. Carly works on the equipment team, so she is your specialist. So if you have any questions about printers, heat presses, those products, Carly is the specialist there. I work with our consumables, so that means everything that you would need for the lifetime of the printer. So toners, inks, papers, items to print on, all that kind of stuff. So
we make a great team.
Yeah, we're your JPP team here. So before we get started, we're going to dive into a little bit of housekeeping just before we go through our presentation.
Yep. Awesome. So if you're new to GoToWebinar, there is going to be a control panel over to your side. If you're having issues with audio, please be sure you dial in by phone. If you're still having issues after that, we recommend restarting the whole webinar. That typically resolves all of the problems you may be having or experiencing. We'll also be answering questions live. So physically, Jackie and I will be answering questions. And then we have folks behind the scenes, the experts, that will also be answering your questions as well. So please be sure to use the questions section of that sidebar there.
Yeah, we also are going to do a little survey. We just always like to know who we're talking to, who is on the webinar today. So we just have 2 quick questions to ask you. The first question is, we are curious, do you currently have a sticker or label printing solution today?
So that could be anything like an EcoSolvent printer, anything like that that you're using today, or maybe you already have one of these iColor 250s. We just like to gauge and understand a little bit better.
Yeah, I know sometimes some people are using that Subla decal.
Oh yeah.
So there's just a lot of different ways of stickers, but I think you're really gonna like this solution.
Okay, so far we have 15% yes, I outsourced today. So maybe you're sending your business out and printing them in-house, or no, I'm exploring the iColor 250. So that's great. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for answering that. I think that's good, George.
All right, our next question is, what technologies are you currently using in your business today? So maybe you're doing sublimation, white toner printing, screen printing, laser engraving. It looks like a lot of sublimation users we've got on today.
Awesome.
Some laser engraving too.
Yeah, that's a great.
Engravers are showing up.
This would be a great complementing technology to give you the full color capabilities without having to use a heat press.
Yeah. So. It's got some white toner there too.
Yeah. Awesome.
Great technologies.
Yep, I think that's good. Thank you guys so much. That really helps us gear our webinar towards you guys a little bit more specifically to make sure we're hitting all the points that you guys need. So if you're maybe watching on an iPhone, an iPad, you're able to drag and drop that screen there to make whichever portion larger. We will have multiple cameras going on. So when we do a close-up demo, we'll have this side camera going on. So if you want to switch back and forth between screens, definitely an option too.
And if you're on an iPhone or a mobile, smaller mobile device, when we go to 2 screens, if you swipe up and down, that will get you between the 2 cameras.
Awesome. Thanks, George.
No problem.
Good to know.
Yeah. So
that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, I think we're done with our housekeeping items. So Jackie, let's dive into what is the iColor 250. So before we go into the specifics of what can you make, what's the pricing look like, let's talk about what is the iColor 250.
So just simply put, the iColor 250 is a printer and a cutter. So I really like that you can print and cut with one machine. So you don't have to print and then take it maybe to a hobby cutter that you might be doing like something with Subla decal or something like that. You have to cut it out.
Yeah.
You can print both magnetic media in the machine as well as decal or stickered media.
Yep.
So there's a couple different options and we'll kind of dive into what those are. But the gist of the machine is you could print 1 label, 1 magnet, or you could print 100 labels and 100 magnets, and it's super easy to switch back and forth between the 2.
Yep, and we'll actually do demos here in a little bit. So I'm going to do a magnet demo, And then Jackie will actually do the sticker demo. So it'll be great, interactive. We want you guys to ask all the questions that you have. So please feel free to ask us. I do want to say the maximum media size of this printer is going to be 4.25 for the width. And then the longest length that you can go is going to be about 12 inches. So that's a great, just a heads up as to what you can print with this tiny little machine. So here's the footprint of it back here. I guess I've been covering it up the whole time, so I apologize for that. So this is the actual iColor 250. It goes back just a tad bit here with the media roll, but it's a nice, easy desktop machine to work with.
Really nice size, definitely comparable to just like a regular desktop printer. So if you are considering it, adding it into your shop, but you don't have a lot of space, this is a great solution because you pretty much just need just a little space on your desk.
Yep, perfect. All right, George. Okay, well, Jackie's going to talk about the magnet media. While she does that, I'm going to head over here, get our computer set up and ready to print.
So as I mentioned, there are a couple different media types that you can use in the machine. So the magnetic media, I really like because pretty much all you have to do is drop it in the machine, print and go. So we have shown here a couple examples of what you can do with the magnetic media. I know I have a lot of consumable customers that I work with now that are maybe printing products for their customers who are wedding parties, that kind of thing. So one idea, I know there's a lot of creative people on the call, but just one example of what you could do is a save the date, simple one-step print. So with this, Carly is going to print a sample. But in this option, we have kind of broken down the cost of what it would be to print something like this. So we're going to be using the dye-based ink in our examples. So this, the dye-based ink is going to give you really bright, vibrant images. And then there's a pigment-based ink that is a little bit more durable. So they're both great inks, just different for whatever option that you're doing.
Yep, awesome. All right, Jackie, I'm going to go ahead and do the demo. So right over there, we have a camera active. And I think behind me too. So what I did is I went ahead and imported in the image. And this is a PNG. That's probably going to be the most common artwork that you're going to use. There are 5 other major artwork design softwares that you can use as well for file types. But PNG is probably the most common. So what I did is I imported in the artwork here. So if you can see it a little bit, are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Awesome. So what I would like to do is I want some white space in between the actual artwork itself. So what I did is I traced around it and gave it just a little bit of an overhang there. So I'm going to go ahead and hit print. And because I have the magnet media loaded, it already identifies with that. And I'm going to do a print and a cut. So we'll show you how quick and easy it is. It's already uploaded and it's going to go ahead and print and cut for us. Anything else you can think of that I missed here?
I don't think so. I think we mentioned it is a printer and a cutter. So you can either print and cut at the same time, or if you just want to print, you can just print, or you could just cut. One of our designers came up with a really great option on this Millie sticker. So it's kind of more something like you would see with a vinyl application. So she just cut the media, and I'm not sure where it's on here. So it's Millie. I don't know if you can see that, but that's an option that you could do with the cut feature.
All right, so now that everything has been cut and printed here, I'm going to go ahead and unload. So Jackie, if you want to go ahead and go to the next slide while I unload this.
Yeah.
Unload the media. Oh, sorry, George.
So that was the magnetic media that we talked about a little bit. And then the other option is you can do a decal media. So there are 2 options. There's the high gloss BOP and then the matte BOP media. And BOP sounds really funny and it's a mouthful. We'll explain what that is. It is a biaxially oriented polypropylene
Woo!
media. So
Got it?
we like to say BOP because that's a mouthful. But essentially what that is a, it's got that kind of polypropylene material in it, makes it a little bit more durable and a really great option for your stickers and magnets to make them a little bit more durable. So there's either the gloss or the matte options. But as you can see, it's really easy to switch the medias in and out. There's just a little chip that you pop in and pop out. It looks like we've got a question.
We do have a question. So a question we had come in was on the costs per label and per magnet that you're showing up here. Can you tell us a little bit about what went into factoring in those costs? Is that just the media? Is that the ink?
Sure.
How did we come up with that, or did we just make it up?
So there is actually one really cool feature, is there is a technology, a program that will give you the cost per label of the ink to print. So for example, this Plant Lady sticker, the ink cost was about 5 cents per label. And then depending on which media you're printing it on, the size of your artwork, I would maybe add, maybe a penny and a half per print for that. And also depends too if you're printing, 1 or 5 or 25 in that roll. But the software will calculate the ink cost for you as well. So that's a really nice feature too, because it just gives you visibility to how much ink you're using, what the cost of that ink is. So it helps you understand your cost, so it can help you understand, what to charge and how much money you're making with your machine.
And for the price, the retail price, we kind of found those just doing some searching online, right?
Yes.
Traditional
Yep.
craft type places where you would find those items.
Yep, craft places. I know I work with a lot of my customers have boutiques that I've seen products like this sell in. So it's a really great market. And, if you have the ability to customize, you're definitely going to be able to get that, get that value from your customers. Imagine, you're getting married and you can have your face on a magnet. I mean, I'd be willing to pay for that. I don't know about you. So there's definitely, there's room to make a lot of margin with these products.
Absolutely. And anything personalized. I mean, you guys are already in that market and in that business. So anything personalized, you can always charge more of a premium for that too.
Yeah.
So this is an amazing opportunity. And I do want to touch on this magnet material while I was messing around with that. So you'll notice it scores it pretty deeply here, and you can select the knife depth. But what you'll watch is I will actually move around this and it takes it off there.
Yeah, there is the difference between the sticker media or the decal media and the magnetic media. So this one, you can peel the sticker off, where this is just the magnetic media. You don't have to peel a backing off or anything like that.
Yep.
So
You
those
got
are, just so you know, if you don't get confused, print your magnet and try to pull the magnet backing off, because it won't work.
Yes, that would never be a good thing. And it doesn't cut all the way through, and that's because there's not a mat on the bottom there. So that's why it's scored, and then you would remove the rest of it there. But with the sticker, it's perfect. It's super easy. You would give it to your customer like this, and then they would just peel it off. Awesome.
Somebody wanted to know if can we run another one of those on there?
Yeah.
On the printer, and I want to try and get a little bit closer. I apologize.
Sure.
I'll take that one. Move the camera a little bit closer so we can certainly do that.
Yeah, so we're gonna actually run a sticker. So we'll do the sticker.
That'll work. That'll work.
Yeah, because I already went ahead and switched the media out. And that was super easy.
So I don't know if you saw Carly back there moving things around, but that's how easy it is to switch it. Maybe, I don't know, 5 minutes at the most. That's probably a lot of time, but
Yeah, that's a lot of time.
yeah, 2 minutes maybe.
Yep, I'll trade you spots, Jackie, if that's okay. And the software system that she is using is the iColor Custom Cut, and that will come directly along with the printer. So everything that comes along with the initial printer purchase is going to be the printer itself. You'll get 1 cartridge of the dye ink, and you'll get the iColor Custom Print as well. So everything you need, with the exception of the media. So the media, you have the option of high gloss, you have the matte or magnets. A lot of my customers tend to pick both the high gloss, just due to the looks, and then also the magnet media with the initial purchase.
So I'm going to turn the PowerPoint off for a moment,
Awesome, that would be great.
so that way folks can make the screen bigger. We got a lot going on today.
I know, we do. We got 2 demos and not just one, so it makes it a little bit different. So hopefully that's close
Right.
enough there. And this one's gonna be a full bleed artwork. So I went ahead and had the trace line, the cut line, cut in just a little bit. I didn't want any white around it like I have here shown with the donut. So this is gonna be a full bleed sticker.
Let me make sure the media is fed in there. Should be printing. Let's see. So we got print and cut selected. So as you can see, I don't know if you can see on the screen here, these cut lines should be showing.
All right, so we'll give it just a second to connect
Yeah.
there.
I think it's thinking.
We did have somebody ask too, if you go to our YouTube channel, always like to plug our
Oh,
YouTube
yeah,
channel.
That's right.
We do have several videos that we've done on the iColor 250, including an unboxing.
Oh,
There
yeah.
is a video on the Smart Cut software. Steve did a video on how to swap out the
Are you
different
Smart
media.
Cut? Are you thinking of heat transfer for that?
What did I call it?
Smart Cut,
What is it?
iColor Custom Cut.
Custom cut.
Yeah.
I am. That's my bad.
That's all right. Okay.
I'll send Joe an apology later.
Yeah, and that's okay. We also have a video on the tracing aspect too. So if you want to convert or test that out. Jackie, do you want me to unload the media real quick?
Yeah, maybe unload it. I'm not sure if maybe that chip didn't want to,
It's all right.
to go. So when you are changing the media, really all you do is you pop it out, pop it in, and then feed the media through. So I think maybe it didn't quite grab it on the way in.
Jackie, I have a question for you while you're working on that.
Yeah.
A lot of people are asking if they're needing something to be like a product label that's going to be around water. What would you recommend in the 2 inch of the media?
So as far as the 2 different medias, dye is going to be better option for vibrancy, brighter prints, and then the pigment media, the pigment ink is going to be a water resistant media. So pigment is going to be a little bit more durable, whereas the dye is going to be a little bit brighter. They're both going to give you a really high quality image, but those are kind of the differences between the two. There we go. We got a couple jobs coming out. So here's one.
You gotta let me get the camera.
It just had to take a second to refeed.
Yeah, it's just
Sorry about
the
that.
feeder just was caught there. So
So what happens is it's gonna print and cut directly after.
yeah. So there's the sticker, the olive sticker.
Jackie got very print happy.
I did. I was like, let's print. So since we're talking about printing, so just a couple of options of what you can do. So here we have, you might be working with a boutique or maybe you own a boutique and a customer's looking to get something branded. Maybe they're outsourcing their bag. You can give them a really affordable option for branding. There we go. Branding their product, the things that they're sending out. So when they're walking down the street, they can see this Olive Boutique. Another option is you might be doing drinkware right now. So these are our acrylic insulated tumblers that we have put a sticker on. Forgot that you can't see me and, oh, you can see me in that camera, never mind. So here's the
I'll be
quote about it. And we do carry those tumblers as well. I think they're around the $3 mark. So really great if you're doing vinyl today and you want to upgrade into this. Makes it super easy to get that full color, custom shaped material.
While Jackie's talking about that, I'm gonna go ahead. You can keep that on here real quick there, George, if you want. There we go. So I'm gonna head over here, and what I have pulled up is actually the cost calculator. And it also shows how much media I have left on the roll. So I have about 40% of my media still left on there. And then my cartridge is about 50% full. So I really like that it has everything right here for you that you can visibly see. And all of these jobs that we just ran, it has all of the ink costs already built in there. So this one right here, the soap one, the olive one, this was 7 cents to print. So super inexpensive. Now this one here, because it's a full bleed and a full color, this one was closer to 18 cents.
Yeah, so again, it's gonna depend on your artwork, of course, and you know, how much color you're putting down on the cost. But I know we've, you know, have a lot of people who maybe are doing larger prints using EcoSolve printer, and this might be a solution for if you don't want to fire up your big printer and print a large job. If you just have a couple or some one-offs that you want to do, this is a great solution for those type of applications.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, one comment that we had was the Good Vibes sticker, something around that size.
Mhm.
You could really sell these to local schools, high schools. I know my daughter is in the marching band. She just got her
Yeah.
first car. So she
Oh,
wanted a
perfect.
marching band sticker for her car from our high school.
Awesome.
It cost me $7 to buy that sticker. It was just about that size. So
Yeah.
you're seeing here
Yep.
what that cost is as far as
Absolutely.
printing it on the iColor
Yeah.
250.
A lot of room to make your margins with this printer. Another thing to think too is, you know, there are things that you can create for your customers, but then
Absolutely.
you can also make yourself money by thinking, you know, if you put your, you know, the holiday season is right around the corner. So just to plug, don't forget to buy your ornaments and things now. I know I'm gonna blink and it's gonna be Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
But so when you're sending those items out, you know, put your business logo on them and your contact information. That way, when next year rolls around, they can remember who they bought that from and bring yourself more business.
Absolutely.
Question
Yeah.
that came up was durability on the, particularly with the pigment inks, on tumblers and that sort of thing. Can you hand wash those? I mean, how do you clean that sort of an
Yeah,
item?
so we're always going to recommend a hand wash only. That's going to be the best method. And typically with all of your drinkware, it's going to be recommended for the drinkware itself to be a hand wash only application. But it is waterproof. The ink is. So, I mean, you've got it on a permanent adhesive, but still sticking in a dishwasher, it's not exactly the best idea. So definitely recommend a hand wash only to keep the longevity of that sticker and decal going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great question. Thanks, George. All right, so we're switching over to Erin, the Erin decal, and that's in front of you, Jackie. So this one was done with our pigment-based ink, like we had just talked about, and it's on a piece of drinkware. This drinkware is recommended for hand wash only as well. So the cost per label for the full name was about 22 cents. So you typically charge around $5. So the blank cost was $5.
Yeah.
So
Yes, and if you, I love this water bottle. It's got a little flip up lid here.
awesome.
So speaking of back to school marching band, I know a lot of
Yep.
people want to send their kids with water bottles with their names on them, and now this is a way to make sure that you get your child's water bottle back, or your customer gets their child's water bottle back, so you can personalize with the name.
That is so
So
true.
those are available on jpplus.com.
Awesome.
So the item number on that, if you want to go search, is XP8220 for this water bottle.
Yeah, awesome. So you got over almost $10 in profit for that. You can typically sell them for about 16 bucks, maybe a little higher even,
Yeah,
knowing that it's personalized with a specific name there.
you can absolutely combine technologies too. So if you are sublimating and maybe you want to put, you know, names, but you also want to put a photograph, that's something that you can do in sublimation as well. And again, we do carry the acrylic tumbler. These are about $3, I believe. So I know these are super popular as well. Lots of options to personalize, and we have all the things you need to personalize on.
We did have a question on the Erin water bottle.
Yeah.
And they wanted to know if we place those stickers letter by letter onto the water bottle. And a pro tip is to actually use a simple transfer sheet. So a sticky sheet that you get with your Easy Subly or your Cricut.
Yep.
And you can actually do that the same way so that you don't have to worry about lining all this up individually.
Yep. So that's a very nice way to transfer that over. Yeah, absolutely.
There
Poor
are
George.
a couple other things. So if you are seeing this webinar, you're like, man, I really need this printer. There are a couple other things that you might want or need throughout the life of the printer. So one thing is the ink clip for the printer. So since there are the two different kinds of inks, if you do switch back and forth, you'll want to be sure that you are preserving the ink so it doesn't dry out when you're using one or the other. So that's one thing that's really cool. That's an option. There's also a rewinder available.
Yeah.
And what that is, if you're doing a large print job, it helps you roll back up. So roll the roll so that you don't have to sit there and hand roll it back up. It just makes it easier for you. So let's say this is something that you're doing or selling, you can sell that to the boutique and it's on that roll ready for them to slap on their bags as they're checking people out.
Yep, and I find that the roll and selling it as the roll back to your customer is so much easier. This way you don't have to have, a million individual stickers that you have to clip together. So having it already on that roll is super, super nice. So in comparison, if you have a larger format eco-solvent printer and you have some of these, this would be a great comparison and a great offering for your customers.
Yeah.
A little easier on the on the format there.
So we do have, speaking of if you're working with a boutique or a soap company or something like that, we have this little sample here.
Yep.
This one cost about 5 cents in the dye ink to print. So typically, if you're selling that to your customer for 65 cents, you can make a pretty good profit there on that. So that's about 2.5 by 2.5 inches on that sample.
Absolutely. And again, this was the dye ink that we had used for all of these samples up here. This is the dye ink. So you can tell by the vibrancy, it's extremely vibrant. It's a great quality that you're going to get. And we have it on the high gloss and then the magnet media as well. And I think this one here is actually going to be the matte. So it's really hard to tell. Well, I guess you can tell from the lights up here. This is the matte and then this here is the gloss. So just the two different label types there.
Yeah, I really like this printer because as you can see, there's a lot of flexibility in what you can offer your customers. So maybe you have a customer who needs, 5 and they really want something glossy. You have a customer that needs 100 and they want the matte media. It's really easy to switch back and forth and, offer that specific customer what that specific customer needs with their labels. And then with magnets too, I think there's so much you can do with magnets. Speaking about your kid in band, maybe you want to talk to the band director and print out that football schedule and put it on the refrigerator.
Yeah, that would be an awesome.
Great fundraiser for them. Lots of different ways that you can use that.
Absolutely. And one of the small shops that I actually see here in town, they actually did the state of Ohio and had a cute background in the back of it. And they're selling those, I think for like $7 to $10, if I remember right, at the store. So it's not very difficult to produce, and it's an amazing product and profit for you.
And then another kind of avenue you could work with your customers are people who are in food industry. So maybe you have a local coffee roaster and they want coffee bags, or we have shown here, somebody that's making hot sauce and they want to label their hot sauce brand. So this one, we use the pigment ink. So this would be a little bit more durable. That way, if some hot sauce drips out and gets on the ink, it'll be a little bit more durable than the dye-based ink. So this cost is about 21 cents on ink. You could sell that for about $1, make about 80 cents per profit. So there's definitely a lot of room to make your money back on this machine. When you purchase the media, you get them they come in rolls of 2. They're $125 for that roll. For the matte and the gloss media.
And then the magnet, you get just the one for $75. So a little bit different options there. And Jackie, let's talk a little bit about what JPP bucks are and the rewards, since that's so new. So we offer this on equipment. Can you talk a little bit more about how this happens?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's just say you're gung-ho, you're ready to buy the printer. You would purchase your iColor 250, and then with your equipment purchase, you would get your JPP bucks. So in order to access those, you have to log in and register for the JPP rewards. So your JPP bucks will be housed under that rewards program. You have 30 days from your equipment purchase to opt in. And then once you opt in, I believe you have 180 days to use the JPP bucks. And then as you continue to purchase blanks or media, sticker, whatever it might be, the ink, you earn points on those purchases. And then you can use those purchases for dollars off of your orders as you accrue them. It's totally free to sign up.
Yep.
The points are for consumables, and then the bucks are for
Equipment.
equipment. So I know it's a little bit confusing, but long story short, log in, register for the rewards, and then you're good to go. And just a reminder too, when you place your order on the web, orders over $149 do ship for free for consumable items. So that is a little bit about the iColor 250 and the rewards. I'm not sure if we have any other questions, George.
So I want to talk a little bit about some social media here, because Jackie and I had so much fun, and hopefully you guys will see it soon. If you are signed up with TikTok, hopefully you'll see a cute little blurb of Jackie and I coming through. But please follow us. We have tons of important information that we like to share and be current. So social media is always that great avenue for us, and you get to see our faces. So how exciting is that? What you got, Grace?
One last question. I think someone came a little bit late and they wanted to see the final magnet demo that you guys ran. So if you could show up a close up of that just real
Yep.
quick.
Run, George, run.
Didn't know I was gonna be winded today.
It's all right. All right, so here is the magnet. So it's a pretty thin magnet. I will say that. I would not recommend sticking it on your car, but it's definitely a great fridge magnet. Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you want to show?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, I was just gonna show the save the date. It's just kind of another application. And again, since it is a printer and a cutter, you can do any shape that you want. So pizza, donut.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm thinking about food, but lots of options that you can.
I mean, this is a
You
very
can do.
intricate shape. It's not just a standard circle. So this is the great part about the cutters. You can do more intricate shapes than you could. We do also have the pre-labels. I think they're circles. So if you want to do just a circle, this is a little bit different here because we cut this one, but we do have a roll of the circle die cuts. So, yeah. Awesome. We got anything else? Lots of information. This is a great small format printer, very easy to connect to. So if you do decide to purchase the printer, our advanced support team will actually remote in. They will show you how to operate the printer, the software that goes along with it, and everything else. So we're here to fully support you in equipment and
Yeah.
consumables both. We love
Absolutely.
teaming up together because it gives a great
Yeah.
opportunity.
We are here for you from the time you purchase the printer until you decide to move on to the next technology. We're here to help you. We won't leave you hanging with your printer purchase. So if you have any questions or are interested, don't hesitate to reach out.
All right, guys, thanks so much. And I hope you have a great day.